All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing this gospel and truth and its sincerity to the best of their ability given to them by Yahweh Bahashem Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Shah, Lord willing, fall upon their houses. Just a brother Quanah Watt come back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Shah, Lord will. It is edifying, Lord will. It is straight to the point. But this lesson is ultimately just going to go into, being renewed through the spirit of your mind, man. And as it says right here, right, retrain your brain. So true it rhymes, man. And that's exactly what we have to do, right? Coming into this gospel, right? That's something that you learn, right? That same old, old man that you were acting and, being, in the world, right? You can't be that same old man, in this truth, and I speak to myself first and foremost, right? All these things, through the spirit, right? Ultimately apply to, those who speak it first, So again, I say it to myself first and foremost, man, which really, it's a purging process, right? It's not something that happens overnight, but hey, the Lord will ultimately, sup with you and show you about yourself, and allow you to, work on certain things, man, right? But those things, you have to, the Lord will ultimately show you what you need to get rid of, right? And how you need to, change your mind, on certain things and act and react, differently, right? Because again, you can't be that same nigga in the world, right? In this truth, man, it's not gonna work, right? But I got that word retrain on the online etymology. It says train again, teach someone already skilled or trained a new skill, and we've been trained and taught, right? All these, these different, things in the world, such as being being a man and being emotional, right? These women, right, trying to be men, having that manly type of spirit on them, you know what I mean? Making, unwise decisions, right? Reacting a certain way, assuming certain things, right? All those different things are things that we learn or are taught, right, in the world. And we've ultimately, been engaging in those things for so long. It's ultimately likened unto a skill, It's like a muscle memory, man, Hey, but when you come into this truth, hey, you're ultimately wringing that muscle out, right? And retraining that muscle, like it says, a new skill, which again, this truth, is really new to us, man, because at one point, right, Jeremiah 17:4, right, our heritage has been taken away from us. So all these different things, right, that we're beginning to learn, right, we're beginning to, be engaged in, right, these are things that we haven't been learning or been taught, right, for hundreds of years, man, So really, these are things that we forgot. This is new to us, man, and yes, it does take time, but we have to go through it, man. It's not easy, but we have to go through it, right? It's a condition of the battle, right? Fighting these, these impure thoughts, fighting, a mentality that we've had, right, a lot longer than we've been trying to get rid of it, So it does take, a fight, but I want to grab this in Ephesians, the 4th chapter, and we'll start at verse 17 in the NLT, right? It says, with the Lord's authority, I say this, live no longer as the Gentiles do, for they are hopelessly confused. And they are, man, right? Again, you got a man trying to act like a woman, reacting like a woman, right? But yet saying he's a man, right? Then you got a woman, right, acting like a man, right, trying to be a man, but yet it's a woman, man, Women think they're stronger than men, right, that they're more important, right, that they carry, the seed, when they don't, man, the man carries the seed, man, who you are is you are who your father is, man. You are not who your mother is. That's what Esau does, man. Those small hats over there, they go by the mother, which completely contrary, to Yahweh Shemel Sham. We understand, right? Confusion is not of the Lord, man, So this is just, again, it's abominable, man, Verse 18, it says, their minds are full of darkness. They wander far from the life the Most High gives, because they have closed their minds and hardened their hearts against him. That's right, man. You know, especially Jake, man. You know, and even today, right, you'll ultimately preach this, you know, to Jake, and as it says in Isaiah the 30th chapter, right, that they don't want to hear this truth, man. You know, they don't want to hear, you know, the fact that they've been, you know, as they say, bamboozled, man. You know, you've been duped, you know, as they say. You know, but Jake don't care, man. Jake want to continue to listen, right, to basically folly and bullshit, man. You know, because that's all Jake is about, you know, which is going to lead to their death, man, you know, because that's a bad mindset to have, man. It's like in verse 19, it says, they have no sense of shame. They live for lustful pleasure and eagerly practice every kind of impurity, right? Because it's all about party and bullshit, man, you know, party and bullshit. No one ever, you know, wants to change and grow up. You know, scriptures say that when I became a man, I put away childish things, but, you know, which is ultimately a mindset change, you know, but these people are still grown-ass children, right? 30 years old, wearing, Pokemon costumes and dressing up and, you know, this, that. Come on, man. You know, kids do that, man. You know, kids do that shit, but that's the way of this world, man. You know? Nobody has ever truly, you know, grown at all, man. People are just stagnant, man. You know, which is spiritual too, man. Right? Because scriptures say, you know, that, he that wandereth out of the way of understanding is dead while he liveth. Well, guess what, man? The synonym to the word stagnant is dead, man. Like, these people aren't growing mentally, you know. So therefore, guess what? They're dead spiritually, you know. And first and foremost, that goes for Israel, man. You know. You Israelites, man. The rest of these other nations, man, that's the way that their life, that's the way that they live, man. That's what they're ultimately created to do, to be wicked, right? Esau, Edom, he is the wicked, right? These other nations are just following that damn devil, man. You know, so they're following after wickedness, man. You know, hey, but you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that's not your culture, man. You know, that's not how you should be thinking or operating, man. You know, you have to be operating, you know, according to the scriptures, man. You know. And again, this message, right, goes to myself first and foremost. You know, this is a reminder to myself. You know, I'll keep reading. It says, I'll read verse 19 again. It says, they have no sense of shame. They live for lustful pleasure and eagerly practice every kind of impurity. But that isn't what you learned about Hamashiach. That's right, man. And Yahweh Shah was perfect in the flesh. You know, he was the word made flesh, right? So everything that we read, right, and the things that we are to ultimately follow, and Yahweh Shah was doing those things perfectly, you know? And the scriptures say to arm ourselves likewise with the same mind as Hamashiach, you know? So the way that he thought, you know, and, I was just recently told this by a brother, man, which is, I've heard it before, you know, but it, at certain times, you know, it hits harder, you know, based on certain events, man. But the brother had told me, you know, beautiful brother Tazabah, right? He said, really consider, you know, what brothers, how brothers think, and, you know, and say, hey, what would this brother do? You know, which is heavy too, man, you know, because really, you know, our brothers, the men that we're around, hey, they're a piece of Yahweh Shai, man, you know, here on earth, you know, little mini Yahweh Shais here on earth, man, you know. So when the brothers speak, right, when the brothers ultimately go to teach or give some advice, hey, man, that's Yahweh Shai. They're speaking through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, man, you know. So you really have to do that, man, and consider, you know, and really, you know, a lot of people in this world, they don't do that, right? For a person trying to give them some type of advice, they don't do that, man. You know, they ultimately, you know, think that somebody is, you know, trying to, tell them what to do, or, you know, they get offended, man. You know, they get offended, you know, and that's, you know, what happens, you know, in this world, man. And we can't get offended at these things, man, because really, right? Scriptures say that all things work to the will, you know, all things work for the good of him that loved the Most High, roughly paraphrasing, man. You know, so even stuff like that, being told those certain things, right, they're all to help, you know, build us, man, through the Spirit, you know. So you can't look at those things in a negative way. Again, that goes back to, being renewed through the spirit of your mind, right? Retraining, right, your mind, and not having that same worldly ass mindset, which Yahushua did it, man. He didn't, right? And that's the greatest example that we have. But we have many examples throughout the scriptures, man. Apostle Paul, King David, King Solomon, all the different prophets, apostles, disciples, right? All throughout the scriptures, man. What does it say in, Sirach 2:10? Look at the generations of old, and we do that by what? By reading, man, right? And reading about their mindset in certain situations, right? In certain rebukes, and how they were able to overcome, right? Because through the spirit, right? The spirit of their mind, right? They were strong, man, But I'll keep going. This is verse 21, Ephesians 4:21 NLT. It says, since you have heard about Yahushua and have learned the truth that comes from him, throw off your old sinful nature and your former way of life, which is corrupted by lust and deception. That's right, man. Again, everything in this world is nothing but confusion, right? Deception, and this is what we learned that was okay, right? Really, we were deceived, and all these things are really, following after the lust of the flesh, man. All those different, characteristics that we absorbed, right? Is because, we were following after the flesh. We weren't following after the spirit, man, So now it's time for us to, sow in the spirit, man, right? And to build our mindset up, man, right? And not engage, in the folly and bullshit that's in the world. And again, this message, goes to myself first and foremost, man. A reminder to myself, but it applies to everyone, It said, verse 23, it says, instead, let the spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes, right? Put on your new nature, created to be like the Most High, truly righteous and holy. That's right, man. We have to get rid of that old nature, man, which actually I want to grab this and we'll close out. We'll close out with this. I got a few precepts in here, Colossians 3 and 5, just again giving that a list, right? The different things that we have to, ultimately put away. Colossians 3 and 5, it says, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth. And, you go into that word mortify. Matter of fact, let's grab that real quick. Strong's G 3499, it says, necroo.
Strong's G 3499, necrao.
Necrao, right? And it says what? To make dead, to put to death, So we're getting rid of those things, man, right? Completely getting rid of it. When something is ultimately put to death, you don't see it no more, man. So let's go back. It says, right? It says mortify. Let's read it again. Colossians 3 and 5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon earth: fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. And let's grab, a couple of these words. We'll start with fornication, which is a heavy one where we all know that's, ultimately adultery, right? But this outline, right? Let's go to that word, right? It says parna'a, right? Strong's G 4202. Let's listen.
Strong's G 4202. Parnaya.
Right? As it says what? It says adultery, fornication, Moism, bestiality, basically is what it's saying. It says also a metaphor, right? It says the worship of idols, right? So it catches both aspects, right? The literal, and the spiritual, understanding, of this word, right? So, there's spiritual fornication, regular fornication, which is you sleeping, a man sleeping with another man's, woman, and, and so on and so forth, man, as well as these other words that we read. But, in the spiritual aspect of it, is you serving false idols, man, right? False gods, man. That's spiritual fornication, which both are against Yahweh Shem Shai, man, So So let's go back and we'll drop down, man. Go to covetousness. Let's get that word.
Strong's G 4124. Pleonoxia. Pleonoxia.
Pleonoxia, meaning to be greedy, to desire to have more, ultimately wanting what somebody else has, or what you don't have, and we'll call that verse right on that. That's enough on that verse, right? So we'll keep reading, right? Colossians 3 and verse 6 is, for which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience, right? So you ultimately, having these different characteristics within yourself, right, will lead to your death, right, will lead to your destruction, Verse 7, it says, in the which ye also walked sometime when ye lived in them, right, man? Because again, at one point, right, but prior to coming into this truth, right, we were walking in those things, man, right? And again, this isn't a process of, as soon as you come into the truth, as soon as you acquire, right, this knowledge, right, it's ultimately, it's gone. No, these are things that take time, right, to ultimately purge from yourself, man, right? We're all, in that purging process, man, all of us, man, again, myself included, right? We're all in that purging process, man, but these are things that you have to strive for. These are things that you have to continue to fight for, right? To get rid of, because again, we've been soaked in these different, in Babylon, rather than we've been soaked in this truth, man, right? Hey, but the truth conquereth all, man. So, hey, ultimately, those characteristics, right? If you're sincere, right, and truly believe and have faith in Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, those things will ultimately, be purged out, man, verse 8, it says, but now ye also put off all these, right? Anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, right? And we did that, man, we did that, right? As soon as you came into the truth, man, you made that commitment and you started to walk on that path, right? You're starting to purge those things away from you, man. It's like your clumps of dirt and bullshit, right, is falling off of you, and now you're becoming clean, right? As the scriptures say, wash you and make you clean, man. We do that by, it's like we do that by what? Right, getting into this word, right, and following the scriptures and applying the scriptures, man, and going through the little trials and tests, right, that the Lord will put us through, man, on this path, Verse 10, it says, and have put on the new man, right, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. That's right, man. And that's a huge thing, man. Again, putting off, this worldly ass, earthly ass, wicked ass mentality, right, that we have been, bathed in, right, for most of our life, and put on, righteousness, man. As much as possible, especially in the times that we're in, man, and I'm gonna reiterate this, over and over again. This applies, to myself first and foremost, but really all of us, man, continue to fight, continue to purge yourself of these, these different, wicked characteristics that we, have acquired throughout the time, man. Those things are going to get us killed, man, but Lord will, Yahweh Shem Shah will continue to purge us of those things and allow us to continue to, follow after righteousness, man. Hey, we're already almost out of here, man. To continue to walk on that path, running that race, man. Continue to, ultimately pray to Yahweh Shem Shah. We're almost out of here. We ain't got too much longer, man. So with that, Lord will was edifying. Lord will, it was straight to the point. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh. Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rachak Kodash, that belongs to the elder apostles, elder bishops, great millstone. Until next time I see Shalom.